Greetings and welcome once again to White Belt Angular. I am trying this for like the fifth time. We're going to be setting up and making use of a JSON server here in our project. So the first thing we need if we're going to make use of JSON server is a JSON file. And while we're doing that, we need to go ahead and run our project just to make sure it actually works. So looking at our app, we need to create a site assets directory. And we're going to create a new file called LocalHost.json. In that file, we're basically going to paste our data. As you can see here, we have essentially one table with one row, and that row has one or two fields. We're also going to create a directory for models. And we're going to create a user identity model. This basically tells our application what the record is going to look like. And note here that it matches the file that's in localhost. It just defines it. As you can see, neither of those changes cause any errors, so we're going to go ahead and cause some errors now. We need to add an API service, so I'm going to create a new directory called services. And in my API service, I'm going to move through this quickly because I want to try to keep this under the 15-minute time limit. Import my headers. Declare this as an injectable. And we're exporting a class. In our class, we're setting up our constructor. Let's bring in our HTTP client. We're bringing in our channel module, which was defined previously. And we're bringing in our user identity model, which we defined earlier in this video. Channel model. This channel module needs to set a channel. and we're going to make use of a local API server variable to determine what happens. I do love how it tells you what you're doing wrong. It helps a lot. As you can see, it still works. So since we've made use of all of these in our API service, we need to actually import them in our modules, our app module. So we have channel component. We need to be bringing in our HTTP client module. We need to be providing our API service. And we need to be providing our user identity model. And that little error comes from when the server, or not server, but the application takes too long to save the files. So if you get an error that looks kind of weird and you have files that aren't saved up here, then that's usually where that comes from. We want to make use of this code, this imported data in our navigation component. And what I want to do ultimately is I want to print the name of the user up here. So as you can see, the name of the user is the email address. So in my navigation component, TypeScript, I'm going to bring in my API service. And my constructor. As you can see, I already have my channel module. And when ng on init runs, I want to get the user identity. In defining get user identity, I want to make use of the API service. And I want to set the user identity. I don't want just any user identity. I want it to look like what my model looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I'm going to also move that code to the top. And having done that, I want to actually display my user identity name. So I'm going to go to my navigation component, HTML, and I'll just display the user identity name here. So we'll compile. As you can see, these are not saved, but this will probably get to the end and error out because it's waiting for them to be saved. So when that happens, it runs again, compiles. Now, this error is happening because it's looking for the API, but it's not finding it. So what I need to do is install json-server. json-server is its own thing. You can probably find other videos on how it works and, sort of an extended use, but this is sort of a basic rundown of how to make use of it. So now that I've got json-server running, I want to watch this file. So we'll go json-server watch, and I'm just going to paste the URL to the file. It's watching, and when I refresh my page, you'll see that I have my username displayed. If you have any questions or know of any more efficient ways to do what I've just done, feel free to make contact in the comment section below. Thanks, and have a great day.